forward, junior, number 8, Grant Gores. The other forward, number 11, junior, Jacob Bryant. And centering the Bruins, a senior, number 6, Noah Lance. The Bruins are coached by Jordan Bancroft, Matt Beeler, Pat Thomas, and head coach Dean French. The officials for tonight's game are linesman Brandon Girls, referee Matt Coaster, and referee Nick Silkey. At this time, we please ask you to stand, face the flag to your right, remove your headwear for the singing of the national anthem by South High Junior A.J. Anderson.
From the Farmers Union Insurance Center on the campus of Scheels Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas, alongside of my partner Cooper Mattern, as we get set for North Dakota High School boys hockey action as the South-Shanley Bruins get ready to take on the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. Well, folks, it's early in the season yet, but I tell you what, it is a pivotal time of the year, especially a conference game. You know, Cooper, you know just as well as anybody, when you're at this point in the season, it's early on, but you want to build up those conference points. You know, you want to get those anytime you can, because before you know it, tournament time is rolling around, and South-Shanley, they know all too well what it's like to be left on the outside looking in.
Yeah, Jed, that's true. Critical points, like you said, Fargo South-Shanley, looking to get a good bounce-back win after the loss against Davies. And then on the other hand, other side of the ice, Red River looking to keep that streak alive after they beat Cheyenne and after they beat West Fargo.
And Red River, you know, I think South-Shanley feels like Red River is a beatable team this year. Usually those Grand Forks schools kind of dominating the scene in North Dakota high school hockey. But Red River graduating most of their top scorers, their entire top line from last year. I think South-Shanley feels like they're vulnerable. They've got them on their home rink. This could be the night where they knock off Red River for the first time in a while.
That's true, and I feel like a lot of that is going to have to do with the goaltending. Zach Sandy is going to have to play a great game tonight, as well as Bradbury, and I feel like whichever goaltender is able to play well will come out with the win tonight.
All right, well, down to the ice now as action is underway. The opening face-off, and the puck played back into the Red River zone, as now they're going to break it out right away. We mentioned that top line of Red River graduated from last year: Mason Sahlquist, Jackson Kuntz, Dane Montgomery, a senior, a freshman, and a sophomore, a very young line. Sahlquist, of course, being the senior. Montgomery and Kuntz have moved on from high school hockey, playing juniors now. So a lot for Red River to replace, but they feel like they've got the talent to easily fill back into those roles. Let's see, though. Tonight will be a good indicator against a tough South-Shanley team. Setting up behind their own net are the Riders now. It's Montgomery, Drew Montgomery, not Dane Montgomery. Drew Montgomery leading this team in points at this juncture in the season so far with 5. Circling around now with it is Savage. He'll find Andrade on the far side, the captain of this team. Andrade trying to get it back to Savage. Lost it for a moment. Now Savage will backhand it down deep into the zone where Zazada cannot pick it up for South-Shanley, but it'll be played back by Hansen. Hansen and Zazada going back and forth with it. It's the Riders who win the battle, though, and the net is off its moorings. Looks like someone from South-Shanley ran into their own net. It appears Seb Zazada bumped into it, killing some momentum there for Red River, but they will get the offensive draw. Face-off won by the Riders. Going back to Arell. Arell going to throw it in the corner, maybe trying to get the little bounce pass off the boards there, and Zach Sandy will just cover up. Cooper, you mentioned Zach Sandy in pregame. You talked about how important he would be. We saw it last week against Davies before a second period that kind of got out of hand. A few goals that really weren't Sandy's fault. He was the man keeping South-Shanley in that game, made a lot of tough saves, and it feels like he's going to have to do the same thing here tonight.
Yeah, Jed, I definitely agree with that. He does have 39 saves on 47 shots on net to total out a 83 save percentage, but I feel like a lot of that is part of his defense being out of place. I feel like if his defense are able to get good pressure on the forwards, that it'll help him out a lot tonight.
Well, South-Shanley also looking for some offense after only scoring 1 goal against Davies last week. Certainly a mark they're going to hope to improve upon. And if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be their top line, who just subbed off now. But that Alex Senf, Tanner Kirkby, and Drew Sandy, those 3 guys are going to be asked to handle the bulk of the offensive workload for South-Shanley this evening and for the rest of the season going forward, it appears. Here's Austin Manuel, the senior, getting a shot off, South-Shanley's first of the evening, and the first shot for either team so far. Puck pinned down in the far corner. Battle won by the Riders, and now it's going to be played off the glass and out of the zone. Morehart will give chase, and behind him is Adair for Red River, as now Sandy will just cover up. Sandy playing it very safe so far in net. He's not really giving anything away. He's just covering up the puck when it goes by. Clearly, he feels more comfortable trying to make the save off the face-off than letting a mad scramble happen out in front. Puck played along the far boards. Donabauer trying to chase it down for South-Shanley. Instead, it will be kept in by Bernhardsen. Now pinned along the boards. Still working on that far side. Riders trying to break it free. South-Shanley content to pin it there and then look for the clear. Morehart went with the no-looker backhand to Noah Johnson. Couldn't connect, and Sandy's forced to make the save.
And Jed, something that I have noticed very early in this game, looking back at the Davies game when Fargo South-Shanley last played, there was a lot of back and forth action, a lot of neutral zone play, a lot of speed, but there's been a lot of sustained pressure in this zone, in their defensive zone, so I feel like if they're able to adapt to that style of play, that they're going to be able to get good offensive rushes off of it.
Yeah, South-Shanley really likes the dump and chase style of play as Schumacher puts Zazada on his butt there out in front of the net. But yeah, like you said, it was really back and forth in that first period. That was the way South-Shanley liked it. They love the dump and chase as Sandy makes a nice save off of a Logan Huss shot. Huss kind of firing that one unexpectedly that time. Sandy keeping his head on a swivel. But yeah, Cooper, you really said it. Sustained pressure here. Red River not letting the South-Shanley defense breathe. They are keeping it down in this end. Puck tied up off the faceoff. Finally won back by the Bruins. Picked up by Hansen. Hansen going to give it off now to Senf on the far side. Senf makes a nice move, but gets caught between 2 Red River players. Looks a little shaken up out there as Zazada is trying to knock it away. Senf can not really move right now. He's kind of moving in a circle, not sure what happened there, but he's just going to clear and head off to the bench. That's going to be something to watch. Riders now lost it from the offensive zone momentarily, but they're coming right back with it. 3-on-2 rush. Good stick play that time by the defenseman Wyatt Hansen, able to deflect the shot up into the netting. So Alex Senf shaken up on that last play. Looked to be some sort of lower body injury, but he's moving around on the bench fairly well. Looks like he may have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. Certainly hope so, as he's a key player here for South-Shanley. Red River wins the draw. They're dominating in that category so far here tonight. Puck tied up along the near boards. Iverson will come away with it. Alex Iverson spins around, plays it with the backhand up and out of the zone. It'll get past Bradbury, and now Manuel will give chase, trying to disrupt play here as Austin Manuel working with this third line. And now right back comes Red River, as this one will be dumped in by Bradbury. Back around to get it was Leon. He couldn't quite get there, though. Bruins look to clear once again. Not going to happen. Here's a shot from Thingvold at the point. Never found its way to Sandy, though. Nice centering pass. Could not hook up with Thingvold that time from the corner. It was Mullen looking to get the pass there to Thingvold. Didn't work, and South-Shanley gets the clear, as now Red River will set up behind their own net.
Yeah, Jed, like you did mention earlier, although the loss of Montgomery and of Kuntz affected Red River tremendously, I feel like they're really able to keep up their speed early in this one. Montgomery and Savage and Thingvold are obviously three of their top players, and I feel like they've started out really strong, and hopefully they can keep that up, and we'll have a good one on our hands. Yeah, so far they've been just dominant in time of possession, clearly showing that they're a heavy possession team, at least in this game. Obviously, so far, they've been trying to set up more with that sustained pressure, not so much scoring chances off the rush, as Wyatt Hansen fires one that almost deflected in there, Cooper. It looked like Bradbury made the save initially, but then that puck took a weird bounce. And let's get a look at the replay here. Hansen loads up at the point, and it looks like it deflected off the stick of Mason Thingvold. He was trying to block it. Instead, he almost redirected it into the net. So could have been disaster there for Red River. They're fortunate, though, to avoid that, and we remain tied 0-0. Kirkby trying to force a turnover there. Savage will turn around and try to go the other way, showing that speed as he's able to get past Kirkby and move straight through the neutral zone. Looking to hook up with Andrade, couldn't quite get there. Montgomery circles in to try and pick up the loose change, but this one squirts out along the far boards. Savage picks it up, trying to hold the zone, deflects off of a Bruin, able to keep it in though still. Kirkby working on Savage, tried to poke it away. Finally, Savage goes back to Hansen with it, and Bradbury will dump in as it's picked up by Zazada. Zazada with the short pass intended for Kirkby, just ahead of him though, and it's turned over to Red River, but turned right back over to Wyatt Hansen of South-Shanley as this puck's dumped in by the Bruins. Great neutral zone forecheck here by Red River, disrupting those breakout passes for Fargo South-Shanley. That's definitely gonna cause problems for Fargo South-Shanley.
Red River that time trying to set up. Instead, this puck will go all the way down for an icing, and that will give South-Shanley a good opportunity here. It's the third line, Noah Johnson, Austin Manuel, and Ryan Donabauer for South-Shanley. They make up the third line. South-Shanley, the Bruins have messed around a bit with that third line. They've tried a couple combinations. This is a new one, but it appears to be working pretty well for them. This third line's looked fairly strong so far.
Yeah, Jed, we do know they pride themselves on that first line, but I feel like those second and third lines, maybe even fourth lines, can give this team depth and help them make a run towards the late end of the season.
They've had issues with depth in years past. This year, I think, hoping to, like you said, put together 2 or 3 lines that they feel comfortable with as opposed to one dominant top line. We'll see, though, as this game goes on, who generates the offense for the Bruins. Puck gets past Manuel, picked up by Mullen, and then sent over to Huss. Huss dumps it in. Sandy tries to settle it down behind his net. Iverson met with some ferocious forechecking that time by Adair, able to generate a turnover there in South-Shanley territory, as Schumacher will dump this one in. And giving chase that time was Bernhardsen. Bernhardsen with it, tries the backhander, but he flips it up into the netting, and that'll stop play with 9:41 left to go here in the first period.
Great defensive presence there by that second line of Fargo South-Shanley. Part of that might just be Coach French wanting to cycle in some lines as Alex Senf is being tended to on the bench. I feel like with his if he is lost, with his loss, they're going to need a lot of younger players, a lot of inexperienced players to step up and make some plays in this one.
Yeah, right now they've got Drew Sandy centering this second line as Sandy will move across the red line. He's got Gores to his left, tried to leave it back there for Gores. Nice defense by the Riders, but this puck is loose in the Roughrider zone. Bryant couldn't settle it down. Clearing attempt this time will make it out. Adair will give chase, and now it's sent right back in by Hinchberger. Hinchberger just trying to dump it in that time and go off for a change maybe. Nice check down in the Bruin zone by Schumacher as he'll go off for a substitution as well. And now this one's just sent down by Zazada for an icing. And even 9 minutes left on the clock here in the first period. You know, Cooper, play has been mostly down in the South-Shanley end, but the last few minutes have been a little better for them, and they've done a good job holding Red River to very few shots on goal. Pretty even right now, 4-3 in favor of Red River. So while time of possession has not been in their favor, the Bruins have done everything else about as well as you could ask.
Yeah, Jed, and they have taken good advantage of the times that they have getting 3 quality shots on net. You know, you never know if one of those can sneak by Bradbury, even though the great goaltender that he is. Hockey is a game of bounces, so you never know if it can come out for a rebound or sneak behind him and go for a tap-in. You just always got to be ready and take advantage of those opportunities.
So another icing, and this puck is coming right back down. Sandy on the draw, along with Thingvold for Red River. However, it looks like Thingvold will be kicked out of the dot, and Mullen will take his place. Mullen will win the draw, but only momentarily. Red River able to maintain possession here as it was loose along the boards. Setting up now. Shot fired from the point that time. It was Bernhardson, just wide of the net though, and now Senf is back on the ice for the Bruins, and he's chasing after this one. Senf trying to generate a turnover. Dangerous situation there as Bradbury was way out of his net. Senf almost took the puck away as now Morehart fires one that's blocked in front, looked to go off of his own man in Kirkeby, and now Morehart makes the smart play and skates back to it to just dump it back in. The top line for South-Shanley reunited as Alex Senf is back out there, and this one's dumped in by Mullen of Red River. Backhand pass by Thingvold. Nice hands that time from Savage. Trying to force his way into the slot. He could not, though. Puck dumped down ice. Kirkeby chasing after it. Couldn't hold it in. Morehart takes a shot dealt by Drew Montgomery. Battle for the puck. It'll squirt out into the Bruin zone, and Wyatt Hansen will settle it down. Hansen along the boards to Kirkeby. Kirkeby threads the needle over to Bryant, who's going to dump it in and chase after it. Puck picked up by Bradbury. Bryant staying on top of him. Gores is there, and Zazada will hold it in. Zazada with the backhander puts it down behind the Red River net, but this puck going all the way across to Andrade, and now it's a 2-on-1. Numbers coming back for both teams. Andrade has it poked away by Zazada. Excellent defensive play there by Zazada all alone. Loose puck, though, still. Montgomery has it. Centering feed intended for Savage, doesn't connect. Arell tried to keep it in, but it's off the skate of Jake Bryant and out of the zone. Gores pressuring on the forecheck here as Arell will send it down ice. Zazada batted it down out of the air, but here's Montgomery with an excellent look. He whiffed on the puck, though. Wyatt Hansen was in front, maybe screening his own goaltender that time. South-Shanley fortunate on that one that Montgomery whiffed. Huss trying to get it there for Red River. He doesn't come away with it, but he'll get it off the pass. Pass from Schumacher that time, or excuse me, Montgomery, intended for Huss, couldn't connect. Zazada has it now for the Bruins. He likes that backhand clear attempt, and it works once again for him.
Lots of sustained pressure, as we have seen early in this game for Red River. If they are able to keep that up and generate scoring opportunities, you just wonder how long Fargo South-Shanley is going to be able to stick with them, and maybe they'll get a little tired.
Well, look at this. Loose puck out in front. Not to interrupt Cooper, but Huss looked like he had a surefire goal, and Zach Sandy made an excellent adjustment. It's a delayed penalty, and finally the Bruins touch up. And that could have been dangerous for the Bruins. The penalty will be assessed to Donabauer. And here's the excellent save there by Sandy as the puck was loose in front of him. Penalty's going to be against Donabauer as he puts Savage, I believe it was, down on the ground. It looked like he went a little low. They might get him for a trip. Hard to blame him, though, as Savage had a pretty open shot at the net. Sandy was caught out of position, and Donabauer had to do something. So we'll get our first look at this Bruin penalty kill and this Red River power play. South-Shanley's penalty kill was not up to their standards against Davies. Davies picked him apart, and look at this. 2-on-1, feed over to Montgomery. Montgomery going back across. It was the right idea as Sandy got over there in time, but they couldn't connect again. Excellent opportunity. Red River can't capitalize, though. Drew Montgomery across to Savage. Savage couldn't hold on to it. He does have it now, though. He'll go back to Montgomery. Montgomery on the near circle to Savage at the point. Fakes the slapper back to Montgomery all the way across. Huss fires one redirected out in front. Montgomery will go back out to Savage at the top. Here is Drew Montgomery. Lost it for a second. He'll give off to Huss. Huss to Savage. Savage surveys. Red River taking their time, doing a good job holding this one in the zone. Savage across to Andrade. Andrade just lets a slapper go. Sandy not phased. He's able to steer it aside, and it's picked up by Dean and backhanded along the boards. Gore's looking for the clear. It's held in, though. Lance trying to get the clear, and oh, man, an unfortunate error for Lance, and a great goal from Andrade. In the right place at the right time, just good positioning, and a guy with a shot like Andrade, not much you can do there.
Great setup there by Red River. You know, never gave up. Lost the puck a few times down low. Was able to get it back up to Montgomery and to their other playmakers on the power play. You never know if you get a shot on net, and it was able to go in.
That's an unfortunate break there for Lance. He blocked the shot out in front. Or, well, he was trying to get the clear with the backhand, and he sort of whiffed on it. Then he went down for the block, but Andrade had him beat, and he had Sandy beat as well. That's just a nice shot there from Andrade, capitalizing on an unfortunate error there by Lance. Along the near boards, puck down into the Red River zone, picked up by Kranelka. Kranelka with the backhander, looking to hook up with Adair. Turnover generated by Kirkby, though. Kirkby lost that one in traffic.
Roughriders scoring.
And now it's back into the South-Shanley zone as Wyatt Hansen is on top of it. Hansen has it poked away by Kranelka. Great play off the boards to get it up to Senf, who makes a nice move. And now it's a 2-on-2, Kirkby and Sandy with Senf trailing. Kirkby hangs on to it after some nice stick play by Arell. Beautiful feed from Sandy to Kirkby. It was behind the skates of Senf, though. He didn't know it was there. Kirkby's pass just didn't have enough strength to get through the legs and to the stick. 3:58 remaining now in the first. Some nice opportunities generated there by South-Shanley as Senf makes a heads-up play and uses the backhand no-looker to get it over to Hansen. Schumacher holding the zone that time. Puck still loose. Schumacher comes away with it, going across. And that shot whiffed on by Bernhardtson. Riders able to hold it in, though. Hansen grinding along the boards that time, able to keep the puck out of reach of Grand Forks Red River. But still they hold the zone, and they're just doing what they do best, keeping that possession and wearing down this Bruin defense.
Yeah, Jed, with just under a minute elapsed from Red River's goal, I feel like something that I've seen a lot throughout Fargo South-Shanley season, this young season, of course, so far, is their self-esteem. I feel like when a goal scored on them, you know, they kind of fall apart. I feel like if they're able to get chances like they did earlier in this game and keep getting those chances, I feel like something can fall for them and not give all the momentum to Red River.
So we'll have a whistle with 3:05 left. And it looks like we'll have a face-off down in the Red River zone. I believe there may have been a high stick there. Or no, you know what? We have a penalty. We have a full-blown penalty being assessed to Grand Forks Red River. I did not see what it was for.
I think they called roughing on a rail.
Okay, there was a little back and forth going along those far boards, so not stunning, but this is a great opportunity here at the end of the period for the Bruins as Morhart lets one go, and they are not pulling their punches. Morhart trying to get something going right off the bat on this power play.
Grand Forks penalty is on number 9, Joby Mullen.
Well, the difference so far is a power play goal for Grand Forks Red River. Let's see if South-Shanley can even it on the power play as well. Shots are 7-4 in favor of the visiting team, as Senf unable to win that draw. And Zazada will try and keep this one along the far boards, but look at this. Drew Sandy's going to have to go back 2-on-1, and you've got a forward playing defense. Pass over. Not enough space that time for Arell to redirect it into the back of the net. It was a good feed from Montgomery, but they just ran out of real estate. Sandy will pick it up. Bruins avoiding near disaster that time as Morhart goes back to chase after this one, able to keep it out of the reach of Red River. And now the Bruins will look to set back up on this power play as Kirkby has some open ice in front of him. Kirkby going back to Sandy. Sandy does a great job working his way past the Red River defense, but then that shot unable to find its mark. Zazada steers it along the boards. Wraparound clearing attempt. Morhart can't hold it in. It's going all the way down. Sandy's going to have to play it in a tough spot here. He'll wrap it around the boards. Andrade is there, though, and that could have been bad. It still could be as Andrade has it once again, but a glove save made. by Zach Sandy. And boy, Cooper, this has been about as much of a power play for Grand Forks as it has been for South-Shanley.
Yeah, something we have seen out of Fargo South-Shanley's power play is a lot of inconsistency against Fargo Davies, one of the top penalty killing teams in the state. Against Red River, also one of the top penalty killing teams in the state. You know, they're going up against two good teams, and they just got to show their worth on their power plays and not let it affect their play.
Well, they've still got 43 seconds here. That's more than enough time to try and maybe get one more setup, at least get another rush going. Well, let's see if they can. This Red River penalty kill looks excellent. Bryant with the backhander to Gores, who knocks it back out of the zone. That's not what you want, as Andrade steers it right back down into Bruin territory. Puck off the boards, picked up by Bryant. Bryant has that one poked off his stick by Leon. Puck played off the boards by Dean, intended for Bryant, sent right back down. 12 seconds left on the power play. And it looks like Grand Forks Red River will escape unscathed here. An excellent looking penalty kill. Gores trying to generate something, found some open ice. Trying to get a big rebound off the far pad of Bradbury, but no one was there to get it. Big shot thrown by Andrade, and Hansen puts him down, and Zazada sends another man down for Red River, so South-Shanley not scoring, but they are hitting quite well. As this puck is loose behind the Bruin net, picked up by Thingvold. Zazada putting pressure on him. Thingvold comes away with it and is able to hand off to Mullen. Mullen steering it into the slot with the backhand feed, and then it's sent off the glass by Zazada. A collision down in front of the Bruin zone. Puck held in, though, by Bernhardtson.
As we get back to this 5-on-5 action, we see more sustained pressure by Red River. As we saw, they are a good penalty-killing team, but they are such a deadly team when it's 5-on-5.
Look at this turnover generated in the Red River zone. Senf lets one go, and it's in the back of the net. Alex Senf out of nowhere evens this one with 20 seconds to go in the first.
Alex Senf may be my words right there.
Falling to his knees that time, Cooper. He was just able to generate the turnover, scooped it off the stick of a Red River defenseman, and then as he was falling down, found the gap between Bradbury. I think he put that one 5-hole, It looked like. And boy, really came out of nowhere, but that's exactly what the Bruins needed.
Also, just 20 seconds left in the period. Definitely a momentum killer and a momentum shifter for Fargo South-Shanley.
Well, you know, Cooper, those goals inside the last 2 minutes of a period, those always feel like a goal and a half, sort of. They just mean so much when you get it right before you go to the locker room. It helps you carry some energy over to the next period. And they're really flying now. Kirkby and Sandy almost got another one there on the rush. 10 seconds left. Puck will squirt out of the zone. Morehart's just going to dump it back in. Let time expire as one more shot is sent down to Zach Sandy. He steers it aside, and that does it for the first period. After one period of play, it is 1-1 here, Cooper. We are all tied up, and how about that? I got to be honest, I was not expecting the Bruins to get one back there. I thought after they failed on the power play opportunity, figured we'd be looking at a 1-0 deficit headed into the period, but then Alex Senf, that's the kind of X factor he brings to the table.
Yeah, Jed, I definitely agree. We saw Red River speed early in the game, but you never know. It just takes one rush for Fargo South-Shanley to be able to answer, and Alex Senf able to do that and give Fargo South-Shanley a lot of momentum.
And for as good as Red River has been, we've seen a couple times where they've had some turnovers in their own zone. They've let that South-Shanley forecheck kind of mess up their game, get a couple steals off some guys' sticks, and that time Alex Senf able to do it in the right place, nobody home to defend, and just put one home. So great period for Red River until the final about 30 seconds there, and South-Shanley, they got to be happy with their performance overall.
Yeah, and if Fargo South-Shanley is going to want to make a postseason run, these are the kind of teams, top 3 in the state, that they're going to want to beat, and it just takes bounces like those to make plays, and I guess we got a good one on our hands now.
Yeah, we certainly do. An action-packed first period. We got 2 more full periods to bring to you, so don't go anywhere, folks. We'll step aside for a little bit, but a whole lot of hockey coming up in just a few minutes.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, SANFORD, Scheels, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
hockey fans, the Bruins' next game will be next Tuesday, December 11th, at Grand Forks Central, 7:30 p.m. The next home game will be right here, December 14th. That's next Friday at 7:30, hosting Devils Lake. Also tomorrow, girls hockey is in action. North-South Girls are hosting Bismarck at the Coliseum at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That's number 1 North-South versus number 2 Bismarck. Come on out and support the girls.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action here on Shanley TV. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Cooper Mattern as we're getting set for the second period of play here between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. Well, folks, before we get to that action, we do want to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. Well, Cooper, just a few seconds left before we drop the puck here on the second period, but real quick, your thoughts on that first and what you expect to see here in the second.
Yeah, Jay, what I expect to see here in the second, I feel like whichever team is going to be able to take advantage of the disadvantages from the other team. I feel like whichever more bounces go the other team's way, as we saw late in the second period for Fargo, or excuse me, late in the first period for Fargo South-Shanley, they got a bounce to go their way, and that gave them the momentum. So I feel like whichever team has the momentum is going to be the victor in this one.
All right, well, we'll see how it plays out. As like you said, South-Shanley got to be feeling it after a late goal there in the first period to tie things up. And here comes Grant Gores. Some numbers for the Bruins as Gores able to generate a shot there. It's saved by Bradbury, but he does a nice job finding a hole there in the defense. Bryant trying to force a turnover there, got a stick on that pass, but instead it's Red River coming back the other way with numbers as that one's put on net by Thingvold. Sandy gives up the rebound, and the Bruins, not sure what happened there, maybe a miscommunication. Nobody really chased after that one, and Red River's going to bring it right back in. Big shot fired on net, doesn't connect with Sandy, and Gores is looking for the clear here. He gets pinned along the boards that time by Leon. Puck still pinned there, and it's going to shoot out behind Sandy and wrap around to the near side. Montgomery thrown into the boards by Morehart. Now it's a scrum in the near corner. Red River trying to set up and play the game they played for most of the first period, just looking to get some nice time of possession, dominate that category on the stat sheet, and just set up for a nice goal. They don't really score on transition as much as some other teams, but they're very good at setting up, kind of playing the long game. Cross ice pass to Montgomery. Beauty of a setup Montgomery, though, settles it down just a little too late, and that time he had a good look with Andrade open. Sandy left that side of the net way open, but the pass didn't connect.
Yeah, Jed, plenty of sustained pressure there from Red River, and that is when we saw their first goal from the first period with that line of heading of being Montgomery. And when they were able to sustain that pressure, that's when they got their goal, and that's kind of when Fargo South-Shanley fell apart. So if they want to stay in this one and not let Red River get another goal, they're going to have to play better defensively, and that will generate into offense.
And the one thing you got to avoid, Cooper, is these icings. We saw a lot of that in the first period. You talked about that time of possession, and icing that puck just gives the puck right back to Red River in your zone. You can't be doing that. You got to try to get a little better clears than just a straight-up icing. Puck back behind the Bruin net. Chased down that time by Bernhardtson. South-Shanley able to get possession, but only for a second as Bernhardtson puts it back on. It was tipped in front by Schumacher, and the net's off. So we'll get a stoppage in play. .49 to go here in the second period. Shots are 12-6 now in favor of Red River. They've dominated the opening few minutes here in the second. That's how the first went as well, though, until South-Shanley found their groove. And now look at this. Senf accelerating past one man. It's a 2-on-1 sort of. Great job, though, by Mullen to get back and play some lockdown D on Senf. He was able to catch up with him there at the last second and stop what looked like a very good opportunity for the Bruins. Zazada again with the backhander. He loves to try and clear with the backhand. Has not worked for him the last couple tries, though, as an excellent play is made by Montgomery in the South-Shanley zone. Unable to come away with it, though, as a shot is fired and steered aside just wide by Bradbury. Nice job that time getting the shot off by Alex Senf. Sandy forcing it right back into the Red River zone. Kirkby came up with it, but they were caught off sides, and he had to dump it in. Johnson collects that one. Backhander put on net by Manuel. Just cleared, and now suddenly the pendulum has swung for the Bruins as this puck will be iced by Grand Forks Red River. And how about that, Cooper? In the span of about a minute, the script was kind of flipped there.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Jeb, but it kind of looked like Bradbury wasn't ready for that shot off Emmanuel's stick. He has only seen 8 shots tonight. I feel like he's going to need to stay ready and need to be ready for all these shots that could come his way for this period.
Yeah, Bradbury's going to have to try and keep himself in this game. He's going for such long stretches where he's not facing anything. He's got these really long dry spells, and then all of a sudden he gets a flurry of shots like that. So it can be hard to stay on point and keep your guard up when you got to be quiet for such a large part of the game. And this puck's going right back down for an icing. So again, that's back-to-back icings here on Red River. Maybe South-Shanley's got them on their heels just a little bit. Bruins opting to stick with this third line here with a rare offensive zone faceoff for them in this game. And Chose coming away with it, puts it just wide. Excellent opportunity there, found a hole in the defense and put it just about 6 inches to the left. Otherwise, there was some space there if he could have kept it a little further right. Tie up in the near corner, Manuel poked it away, but instead it's Bernhardtson who comes away with it. And now this puck going down into the Bruins zone. Morehart with the backhand, able to play that one over to Dean. Dean goes down, tied up with a rider as this one's sent down for an icing on South-Shanley. So both teams now trading the icing calls here. .13:04, shots evened up a little bit, 12-8 now. Still in favor of Red River. Kronelka in the dot for the Riders. And Noah Lance in there for South-Shanley. It's Grand Forks Red River who comes away with it. Puck poked away by Lance. Had it for a second, but then he was double-teamed. Zazada able to get to it, though. Zazada takes a shot from Schumacher. Hansen trying to get it back to Zazada. He cannot. Lance comes away with it. Lance flipping it now up off the glass. Jake Bryant trying to chase it down to avoid another icing, but the Bruins cannot. And so it's going right back. And, you know, Cooper, you really don't want all these icings if you're South-Shanley. The one positive, though, is Red River's doing some of that themselves, and now we're starting to fall into that dump and chase style of play, and that's what the Bruins like. You know, Red River loves the setup. They love the long con. They really like that possession game. At South-Shanley, they want the points off the rushes. So right now they're forcing Red River to play their game.
Yeah, Jed, dump and chase is definitely the style of play that Fargo South-Shanley really thrives on. Good save there by Zach Sandy. But I feel like looking back at that Davies game, in the first and third period, second period they kind of fell apart, but the first and third periods they were able to do a good dump and chase kind of style of play, and this is what we're seeing in this second period. And if that keeps up, it'll definitely go in Fargo South-Shanley's favor.
Top line back out for the Bruins after getting a nice break. Sandy pushing forward with it, couldn't come away though. Montgomery was there. And now it's Savage moving along behind the Bruin net. Stops and starts again. Going with the backhand, trying to steer it up to Roan. Roan could not come away with it though, and now it's cleared down ice by Iverson. Not an icing this time, as it didn't have the energy to get down that far. And then it's dumped in for an icing by Red River, as Andrade was a few steps behind the red line.
And we have seen Fargo South-Shanley and Red River go with their lower tier lines. Maybe that has to do with the dump and chase action. Not a lot of speed needed when icing back and forth is happening. So maybe they're just trying to get those fresh legs back on the first line side of things and then get them back out when they get offensive zone draws or need help on the defensive side when they need that speed.
Bruins got to be happy to have their top line out here for an offensive draw, although they don't come away with it that time. And now it's a 2-on-2 for Red River. Schumacher had a look, but they were offsides, and boy, really choppy play right now. I mean, we can't even get 30 seconds of sustained play here, Cooper.
Yeah, Jed, choppy play, like you said, but I feel like whichever team is able to gain that speed back, get that top line out there, get those rushes, not so much the dump and chase, but get those quality shots, quality rebounds, quality opportunities will have a good second period and maybe take the lead.
Neutral zone draw now, as Kirkby came away with it off that draw, only momentarily though, as it's knocked away. Schumacher coming down now with speed. Schumacher with pressure being put on by Iverson. Stops back behind the net, able to steer out of it, puts it out in front. No one home though but Kirkby for the Bruins. Schumacher able to get back on top of it as Sandy pressures, and now Iverson has it. Iverson going off the glass. Here's an opportunity, 2-on-1. Senf has Kirkby open to his right, putting it across. Great play made with the stick. That pass broken up by Huss. Excellent opportunity. You're not going to get very many like that, and Senf needed to maybe get a little elevation on that pass. It was just too easy that time for Huss to go down and block it. Sometimes, though, you get such a grade A opportunity, you kind of maybe panic a little bit, and that time Senf unable to get a good pass off over to Kirkby.
Yeah, great play there by Huss. That's the speed I'm talking about, though. If they're able to convert on those chances, and be done with all this icing and dumping and chasing, that they're going to be able to keep up with Red River's speed.
Speaking of that speed, here comes Savage, able to get around one man and get the shot off. Excellent work there by Savage, finding his way around Noah Johnson, who was back playing D on him. And now Johnson gives a little shot there on Savage, as a blazer of a shot from the point goes just past Sandy. Got the glove up there, but it was too high even for him. This one played with the backhand out of the zone. Bradbury trying to dump it in, losing an edge that time. It was Hitchenberger, as now this puck's coming out across the red line. Savage flips it over, found a man, only momentarily though. It looked like that might be a turnover. Chose chasing after it, but Bradbury got back on top as Lance applies some pressure, but a nice move made by Mullen. Mullen coming in, he just dumps it down. Hansen will have to chase after it as Mullen applies pressure, gets the steal, and then Zazada throws it away. Mullen still causing problems. He doesn't log a ton of minutes, or at least hasn't in this game, but he's really making them count. Red River starting to get back into the swing of things, able to play a bit more of their style now, maintaining possession, not so many stoppages in play, as now coming down ice is Thingvold with a head of steam. Thingvold moving in, tried to make a move around Hansen. Hansen, excellent job, not only knocking the puck off, but also causing Thingvold to lose his balance there, as now this one is dumped in by Mullen. Puck across, over to Schreibner. Schreibner with it, pressure put on him though by Bryant. He and Bryant go down as Mullen dumps it into Thingvold. Thingvold has a man open. Leon that time was right there, but Thingvold couldn't get the pass to him. Plays it to Leon now, circling. Leon across, finds a man, shot, rebound loose, Sandy on top of it, and he's able to make the save. A grade A opportunity for Red River, but Zach Sandy stops it. Excellent work though that time, Leon was wide open out in front. Sandy lost the puck momentarily, made a nice kick save, and there was some loose change out there. That's been a problem of his, leaving some big rebounds out there. That time he's able to throw a glove on top of it.
Yeah, Jay, loose change, like you said, but I feel like with all those defenders and all those players being in front of the net, that definitely alters the play of the Red River players. They're not able to have a clear vision to the puck and a clear vision to the net. Having white jerseys in front of the net definitely helps out Sandy. Yeah,
Bruins doing a nice job locking down that slot a bit better, leaving some bodies at home in front of their goalie. As this puck's coming down to Bradbury, he steers it aside, elects not to cover up. Loose in the far corner now. A man goes down for the Bruins, and the Riders send it back the other way. Iverson able to get the break up. Puck flips up across the red line. And we got a whistle maybe for a hand pass there. There was some swatting at the puck, but I'm not sure what specifically they'll call. I think we're getting a hand pass call here.
Hand pass on Red River, considering the faceoff is in their defensive zone.
Yeah, there were a couple guys swatting at that one, so appears to be the call as Kirkby is in there for the draw. Usually it's Sandy taking those faceoffs for this top line, but they've been changing it up. They've had Senf and Kirkby take a couple. So we got a quick whistle here and a high stick. Going back the other way, so I'll take the puck right out of the zone. 8:38 remaining. Got into a bit of a groove there, but we're right back to that choppy style of play. Hasn't been a pretty second period, but it's been about what South-Shanley would want, I'd say. You know, anytime they're limiting this offense of Red River, even if they're not getting a ton of their own, that's still a victory as this puck deflects off the skate of the referee there. Loose out by Sandy, and now it's going to be picked up along the boards by Senf. Senf. Some hesitation, able to get it over to Sandy. Now back to Senf, moving in with a head of steam. All alone, trying to make something happen. Bradbury right on top of him, though, and Senf took a shot there. Maybe from behind. It's going to be a delayed penalty on Red River as Kirkby tracks it down, gets it back to Senf. He's moving slow, though, and he's not able to get a handle on it. And my guess would be a boarding call here against Red River.
And a key player lost there for Red River, their top scorer, Dane Montgomery. Definitely a key player, and looks like the refs are talking about it.
Drew Montgomery, sorry. Easy to confuse him, Dane, obviously, from last year.
It looks like they gave him illegal contact to the head, maybe. That's what he...
Looks like we got a minor here.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll avoid the major call. So it's going to be for the hit on Senf.
They switched it.
And, yep, it's going to be a 5 now. So my guess would be, my initial thought was the checking from behind. There was also contact with the head, so not totally sure, but it was that hit on Senf. And this is a huge opportunity now for South-Shanley. A 5-minute major and already a nice shot off to start. And like you said, Drew Montgomery, a key player, is on the bench for this.
Yeah, and something I did talk about early in the second period at the start.
Well, not to interrupt Cooper, but this could be bad. Andrade and Savage moving in. Morehart going back to try and defend. Good hesitation from Andrade. Savage wide open. Somehow it doesn't go in, though. He had all sorts of net to work with. Now Andrade, a great look again, but it's blocked by Sandy skating back out in front. Still, though, they're not out of the woods yet. Savage making men look silly. Finally turns it over. And boy, Bruins can take a breath, but maybe only momentarily. Good grief, Cooper. Red River is dangerous on the penalty kill as Savage has it once again. Making great moves. Somehow got it between the legs of Morehart and on net. And Cooper, I don't know who's on the power play and who's on the penalty kill.
Yeah, like we saw earlier in this game, Red River definitely prides themselves on that penalty kill. They're able to generate those rushes into offensive opportunities.
So the Bruins finally getting this puck down in the Red River zone. But boy, I think their whole bench, I think all their hearts stopped for a minute there. That was some scary stuff. Multiple 2-on-1s, a couple wide open looks at the net. Got to be a little more careful here. Just because it's a power play doesn't mean you can stop playing defense, and I think they know that now. Iverson going to pick this one up. Bruins might catch the Riders changing here. Although it looks like it might go the other way around. Turnover generated. Moving in, it's Leon. Leon can't find separation. He had Thingvold to his left. Unable to do anything with it, though. And this puck is cleared out by the Bruins. Might be turned over once again, though. as Huss puts this one down into the glove of Sandy, who will be forced to cover up. And you know, Cooper, we saw this against Davies as well. When you start to take bodies off the ice, even when it's one of your own, when you're a team like Red River, sometimes that open ice can be beneficial, even if you're down a man. When you've got the kind of speed they have, it just frees things up so much. Not to mention the other teams playing with such an offensive mindset because it's a power play. South-Shanley's got to be really careful here.
Yeah, and we do know that Fargo South-Shanley power play is not up to the standards that they've wanted it to these past 2-3 games, and when you're not having that offensive success on the power play, you're definitely going to need to get back and help on the defensive side.
So far, this 5-minute major that was supposed to be a big opportunity has been almost a detriment to them, to be honest, as Red River's looking to set up once again here. Still 2:45 left on this power play for the Bruins. The passes have not been accurate, though. They've been a lot like that, and that's been part of the problem. Dean sends it off the boards over to Senf. Senf has trouble collecting and looks to send it back to Dean, and Sandy is forced to cover up. And anytime your goalie has to cover up on a power play, that's not good. .535 remains in the period at 2:28 left on the penalty to Drew Montgomery. Face-off one back to Morhart, and now he'll sit and wait behind his own net, and that will go to work. Savage going to put the pressure on. Morhart leading that one too far in front of Sandy, and that puck sent right back down to the stick of Zazada. Zazada across to Morhart. He'll wheel around trying to use his speed. Able to get it to Senf, who will have to tap it in there, and the Bruins will give chase. Zazada moving in, trying to hold the zone. He's successful for now. Senf will pick it up. And now the Bruins have an opportunity to set up. Excellent pass from Senf on the stick of Sandy, but it just kind of hopped over. Sandy goes to Kirkby, now out top to Morhart. Morhart across to Zazada. Excellent puck movement here by the Bruins. Let's see if they can capitalize. Senf tied up that time with Thingvold, trying to hold the zone, but they cannot, and it's going all the way down. Sandy's going to have to play it. He's in a tough position, though. Got to be careful. Didn't know what to do there for a little bit, and now 1:30 remains on the power play. As this one's tied up along the near boards, the Bruins were changing, so they didn't have numbers back. Andrade making problems again with Thingvold, and now it's just going to be dumped in by Bernhardtson. And
we finally see a setup there by Fargo South-Shanley. Not for long, maybe 15, 20 seconds. They were able to set up, find Drew Sandy backdoor, just whiffed on the pass a little bit. But that's how great Red River is, and showing that they're one of the top penalty-killing teams, able to dump it in when the other team gets a little bit of momentum on the power play.
Sandy plays it again. A little dangerous. Senf is there, though, to pick it up. He goes over to Zazada. Thingvold moving in. Zazada plays with the backhand, and Thingvold lays a big hit in the corner. Great move by Iverson. Gets tripped up, though, and loses an edge. And this puck's going to be picked up by Noah Lance. Noah Lance headed down into the Red River zone. Over to Senf. Senf back to Lance. Great tap pass over intended for Kirkby that time. Gores couldn't hook up with him, though. Here's Senf once again, lets one go in tight, and it's saved by Bradbury. And that's really only their second opportunity of this power play. We talked about it. They had the setup there with the fan on the back door from Sandy, and then a nice little rush generated by Lance. Senf had it point blank, but there was nothing really to shoot at except for the chest of Bradbury.
Yeah, not the typical power play setup we saw there from Fargo South-Shanley, but they were able to generate a shot. Any way you can get a shot when you're on the power play is definitely a good one as you have bodies going to the net.
Bruins unable to hold the zone, and just 15 seconds remain now, as this puck's going to be dumped down into the Red River zone, and an icing with 9 seconds left on the power play. That'll probably do it, and that about sums it up for the Bruins. You know, a couple good opportunities there. There were certainly positives, but you just can't be playing that much defense when you're up a man. Here's Donabauer now, as South-Shanley has to put that third line out there. Their top six got to be pretty gassed after logging a lot of minutes. That's the other thing, you know, because they were unable to set up really for any period of time. That top six for the Bruins is pretty gassed right now. I saw Derek Morehart, top defenseman, skating off there towards the end, and he looked like he had nothing left. You know, he's signaling towards the bench, get me out of here. And so these last 3 minutes, they could be tough for the Bruins without a lot of their top guys, as Tonnebauer takes a big hit down in front, dealt by Connor Arell. Andrade coming in, makes a man miss, looking, fires wide right, gets his own rebound and loads up. The save made by Sandy, though.
Montgomery coming off out of the box there and contributing to that rebound. Another rebound left out by Zach Sandy. He's going to have to limit those in the late part of the second period and rest of the third period if his team wants to generate and get some good breakouts to generate some goals.
Yeah, that's just been an ongoing problem for him, and I even feel like it's been better tonight than it was against Davies. It's just something he's going to have to continue to work on, as that's a great pass intended for Senf. On target, just broken up a little bit by Bernhardtson. He's able to disrupt it just enough. South-Shanley did gain the zone, but only for a second, as this one's coming right back out. Sent down to Mullen, putting some pressure on. Sandy has to cover with 2:12 remaining in the second. So the final 2 minutes here of the second period. Shots are 19-12 in favor of Grand Forks Red River. And Cooper, I'd say South-Shanley just got to focus on keeping the Riders off the board for these last 2 minutes. You can take it 1-1 into the third. That's a win.
Yeah, that's for sure, Jed. I feel like there's been a lot of 50-50 pucks that have either went in Sandy's glove or he's let go. I feel like he's going to have to hang on to those when he feels that he's being pressured by Red River.
Turnover here directly onto the stick of Iverson, who flips it down. It looks like it will go for an icing. Maybe not, though, actually, as Sandy will try and track it down, hold the zone. Senf got a stick back there, but good work by Thingvold. Very elusive when he's got the puck. He's a big guy, but he moves really gracefully as this one's flipped up the boards. Lost momentarily there by Bernhardtson and sent in by Thingvold. Zazada plays it with the backhand. And that's sent up ice by Iverson. Put right back by the Riders. Iverson sends it out. And very back and forth play the last few minutes here as Iverson will grab it. Looking to go on the backhand instead. No, he'll play it forehand over to Kirkeby. Kirkeby loses it in traffic. Flipped up off the glass and poked out by Sandy. And now an opportunity. Kirkeby has a man open to its right as Bryant. Bryant fires one. Couldn't settle it down in time, though. And an excellent adjustment made by Bradbury. It was a good pass by Kirkeby, but Bryant was a little too far out. He didn't have it settled down, and by the time he did, Bradbury made the adjustment.
Almost another goal there within the final minute for Fargo South-Shanley. That's definitely where they see themselves scoring goals, so they never give up, and they're able to find those goals within the late seconds, late minute of the periods.
Hansen pokes it forward, trying to keep it in the Red River zone to no avail. Zazada sending it up along the boards. Couldn't connect with Gores. Bryant has it, though. Bryant circling around, looking to get it to Grant Gores. Taps it into the Riders' zone. Puck finds its way past Andrade, and now he tips it in, but with a high stick. It's picked up by the Bruins, though, so that's waved off. Thrown to Gores now. And here's an opportunity, 2-on-1. Lance going to try to settle it down. Numbers coming back, though, for the Riders. Not much he could do. Gets the legs taken out after the block attempt. 21 seconds to go. Hansen's going to have to get back here as there's two men down ice for Red River. Andrade moving in, works his way around, fires one, and it's deflected into the glass. Loose puck in the corner. A little pushing and shoving, just 4 seconds left. Bruins will hang on and just get to the period break. Still tied 1-1. So after 2 periods of play, we are still all knotted up. And Cooper, after a pretty action-packed first period, not so much in this second. You know, it had its moments, but no goals scored. Very sloppy kind of play for a large portion of that period. What do you think the difference was from the first to the second?
Yeah, difference from the first to the second will definitely be the style. Was definitely the style of play. I feel like the second period a lot more choppy, a lot more dump and chase action. First period a lot more fast pace, a lot more breakout, a lot more shots on net. I feel like whichever team is able to get those shots on net and get those clean breakouts, offensive opportunities will come away in this one.
yeah, you know, that first period maybe better suited to the Grand Forks Red River style of play. The second period, more that dump and chase is what the Bruins are looking for. I tell you what, though, Red River adapted very well in that second period. They were beating the Bruins at their own game for a while there, but credit where credit is due. South-Shanley, they're a home underdog, never a position you want to be in, but they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're playing well, and they're showing up tonight. They are really putting the East on notice, especially if they can keep things tight like this through the third.
Yeah, Jed, whenever you play a top opponent from the East, you definitely want to come with your best game. That's definitely what Fargo South-Shanley has came with, and if they're able to keep that up, we're definitely going to maintain a close one in the third period.
All right, one more period to play. Still tied 1-1, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside for a few minutes, but an exciting finish to this game coming up very soon.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, SANFORD, Scheels, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action here on Shanley TV. Jed Thomas alongside of Cooper Mattern as we are gearing up for the final period of play between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. It's all knotted up 1-1. It's been a fantastic game so far, and before we bring you this final period of play, we do want to remind you one more time that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And with that, folks, we are off in this third period as Derek Morehart will dump it in with a high shot off the glass. Lance pokes forward at it, trying to come away with it that time. It's Gores. Gores lets one go, blocked in front. Bryant looking for the rebound. Gores over to Bryant, backhander, open net, trying to jam it in. Cannot get it, but what a grade A opportunity as numbers are headed back the other way now for Red River. Good defensive play made by Iverson to slow that momentum, and a whistle and a stop in play after a action-packed start. How about that, Cooper?
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay. It looked like he saved that with his skate, and then it just poked out. Brian able to take a few more hacks at it. Good defensive presence, having a lot of black jerseys in front of the net versus the one Jake Bryant.
Absolutely golden opportunity. Bryant, not much more he could do. It was really just a better save by Bradbury than it was a shot by Bryant. But still, that hurts if you're Bryant. Such a good opportunity in a game where they haven't given you many. So 16:24 left to go in this game, all tied up 1-1. As coming back the other way now, it's Leon for Red River. Leon tied up that time with Zazada and couldn't maintain possession of the puck. Zazada going to pick this one up now, makes a great move, but lost it momentarily. Leon again putting the pressure on. Hansen retrieves, throws it up along the boards there, and then a shot put down and blocked in front. From the point that time, it was Orell loading up, hoping someone could pick up the loose change, but a nice block kept that one off of Zach Sandy. As now, look at this, Drew Sandy throws one into Senf. Alex Senf couldn't get it on net. Kirkby couldn't get the rebound, and now this one's headed down into the South-Shanley zone.
Lots of back and forth action early in this one. I feel like whoever scores this next goal will probably come away in this one. Both teams priding themselves on their defensive play, so whichever one gets a puck to squirt through the back of the net is probably gonna come away with this one.
Yeah, there really have not been a lot of grade A opportunities for either team as of yet. Obviously, there's been a few, but they have been very hard to come by as Sandy will cover that one up. With a stop in play, folks, we do want to take the time to give a shout-out to Kate Berry, tuning in from Toma, Wisconsin, and cheering on Noah Johnson. Kate, thank you for tuning in. And, folks, if you are watching, be sure to get in contact with us on Facebook or Twitter and let us know you're watching. We'll try to give you a shout-out on air, as now with 15:14 left, this puck comes out of the South-Shanley zone, and it'll be retrieved by Hansen in the corner. Hansen looking down ice. Looks right, looks left, and then finds Chose along the left side. Puck from Chose shoots down along the boards. Was it touched by a rider? It looks like it. Either way, Manuel appeared to win the race, so no worry of the icing. Puck going across the ice. Great move made by Huss. 3-on-1 opportunity. Huss centers right out in front of the goal for Red River. Savage pokes it in. A 3-on-1 rush. The assist to Huss. And just like that, Red River is back on top.
Great rush there by Red River as we see the replay. 3-on-1. Not many opportunities you get for a 3-on-1 in the game. Great pass over to the slot for Red River, and you definitely got to take advantages when you have an odd man rush like that.
And credit there to Carter Krenelka. He won't get credit on the score sheet for that one, but he does a nice job kind of bumping Noah Johnson out of the play, getting physical there in front of the net, and that takes away the last line of defense for South-Shanley. And now, Cooper, this is going to be a critical time here for South-Shanley to see how they recover, even if they don't get one back right away, just to see how they play, if they can keep playing a responsible, tight game, because against Davies, we kind of saw them fall apart in that second period when they started to have some struggles. So hopefully for South-Shanley, they don't wilt in the face of adversity here.
Yeah, and they definitely got to keep their composure in this one. They fell apart after that first goal was scored by Fargo Davies, and it kind of went downhill from there for them. And I feel like if they're able to keep their composure, get the rushes, get the shots that they have been producing, that you never know if one can squeak by like we saw late in the first period.
Meanwhile, kind of not the way Red River has been trying to score in this game, Cooper. You know, we talked so much about how they like to set up, how they don't really use those transition scoring plays as much. But that time, you know, you got a 3-on-1. I don't care how your team likes to score. It's going to be hard not to take advantage of that. That was just poor positioning that time by South-Shanley. Caught out of position as a point-blank shot fired there right on Sandy by Mullen, and now stop and play as the net comes off. 14:02 remaining in the third period. The Bruins trail by 1 now. In that first period, they were able to get one back pretty much right away, Cooper, and that may have saved them, you know, especially with the timing right before the end of the period. Like, it really helped them mentally stay in this one, help them to, you know, stay strong and not do what they did against Davies, you know, and not just kind of fall apart there. So you hope that even if they don't get one back here, like I said a few minutes ago, you hope they can just maintain their composure right up to the end. Other big thing is just, you know, don't let one in here. Got to stay tight on D. Don't just get so focused on tying it up that you abandon your defensive game plan.
Yeah, Jeb, with their top line on here, they're definitely going to have a lot of opportunities to score. They just really got to make sure they keep priding themselves on the defensive side of the ice, and hopefully that can generate into some offense, and they can squeak one through, because you never know what could happen if they tie this game up.
Puck picked up back behind the net that time by Senf. Bruins trying to get the clear out of their zone. Senf looking to take that one. He had some space, and now he will get it. Senf trying to get the one-on-one matchup instead. A couple Riders get back, but look at this, a turnover. Senf picks it up, can't hold on to it though. Cooper almost like the one he had to tie things up in the first period. Heck, it practically would have been identical, you know, going down by 1 goal a few minutes ago, then forcing a turnover and getting the puck alone. That time, though, he could not hold on to it, and that's unfortunate. We just about saw a repeat of the first period there.
Yeah, and those mishaps, those by Red River, are definitely the things that Fargo South-Shanley is going to have to take advantage of, like they did late in the first period. Alex Senf almost notching another one there, but good defensive play by him, and then turning it into some offense.
Montgomery does a great job settling that puck down, getting it into the zone. Nice shot from Savage, looking for another, but it's blocked out in front. And now this puck's going to be chased down by Schreibner. Schreibner wrapping it along the boards. Andrade playing it forward. Puck poked at by Montgomery. Montgomery has been a little quiet tonight. Bruins have done a good job at shutting him down as Andrade chases after this one. That whole top line for Red River hasn't done a ton. They've certainly been effective, but South-Shanley's done a good job keeping them quiet. It's been the depth, though, for the Riders that's done the damage.
Yeah, a lot of depth coming off the bench for Fargo South-Shanley, able to keep those lines in check, just having a few mishaps when those lines have been out there, allowing 2 goals, to see if they can get back in this one.
Savage wheeling around, looking to hook up with Andrade. Instead, it's broken up by Hansen. Hansen getting some pressure there. Andrade trying to stay physical on him. This one's going to be picked up by Bryant as Andrade lays a big hit on him. Puck dumped in. Zazada giving it back that time. He was going after Bernhardtson. Now got to be careful. Red River with some numbers out in front of the net. The Bruins do a good job tying the puck up in the corner. Leon poking at it. And this one's going to be taken by Mullen. Mullen wrapping around, puck loose out in front. Gores comes away with it, though. Here goes Grant Gores for South-Shanley. That one knocked off his stick. 2 Riders kind of run into each other there, but able to come away with it. It's Bernhardtson. Bernhardtson going across to Huss. Somehow that puck went through the stick of Huss, Morehart, and Iverson that time before finally being tracked down by Morehart and then dumped in by Leon. Sandy settles it down with 10:45 now remaining. And this one's up and actually right past us. That one found its way past the netting and into the top deck here. So 10:43 left to go here in the third period as that one was flipped up and out of play.
We are starting to see the Red River style of play that they've wanted throughout this game. We saw it early in the first period, sustaining pressure in their offensive zone. Hopefully Fargo South-Shanley doesn't fall apart and allow a goal like they did early in the first period and are able to notch one in here.
Well, I tell you what, that was a really good opportunity. Senf had Kirkeby to his left. They were streaking in there, 2-on-2 sort of opportunity, and they got caught off sides. So a face-off at the center dot. And it's going to be won by Red River. Arell chasing after it, and then this one's picked up by Mullen. Some numbers for Red River as Mullen's moving in with it. Long range shot, trying to generate a rebound. Steered aside, though, by Sandy. Right in front, Mullen had the opportunity for the redirect, but he was moving so fast, he just kind of ended up taking it away from the net. Ended up actually kind of being a detrimental play, but still, Red River putting some pressure on here. Loose puck going to be picked up by Montgomery. Montgomery driving in, able to get past this South-Shanley defense, and he flipped it up into the air. Dangerous puck that time, but Zach Sandy's able to track it down.
Good play there by Zach Sandy, able to pick that puck out of the air, especially after that rush by Red River, not able to allow that top line for them to notch a goal and add to the scoreboard.
Another offensive zone faceoff, though, for the Riders. They lead in shots 24-15. Chose stabbing at that puck, trying to work it along the boards. He could not. Bruins come away with it only momentarily, though. Hit dealt along the near boards. No, Johnson can't track it down. Zazada chases after it. And Zazada will throw it along the boards, looking for someone to grab it for him. Good physical play, though, by the Riders. Able to hang on to this one, and they continue to dominate time of possession here. Just trying to suck the life out of South-Shanley, keeping the puck down in their end. And I would think the goal here is to just fatigue them from having to play so much defense, as that one was loose out in front of Sandy, and is then just sent down right on net. Bradbury going to dump it down. I think they were trying to catch South-Shanley changing, and instead, Krenelka's forced to just dump it in. Good pressure being put on, though, from behind that time by Savage. Puck flipped up forward, intended for Bryant. Bryant trying to win the race there, but it's going to be icing called against South-Shanley.
And we have been talking a lot about Red River's offensive presence, but I feel like a lot of that has to do without allowing Fargo South-Shanley to get a good, clean breakout. When they do get a lot of offensive pressure in their zone and get a lot of shots on Sandy, they're really good about getting back and playing good transition defense and deflecting those pucks and getting them back in their possession.
Montgomery wins that draw back to Arell, and his shot's deflected up into the netting. Just a shade under 9 minutes now. Plenty of time here for the Bruins, Cooper. I mean, you know, tons of time really in hockey. The question is, though, can they flip the script now and get some offense going again, because Red River's just been dominating for the last few minutes.
Yeah, they were able to flip the script late in the second period. It's going to be harder to do it late as they need to start getting a little sense of urgency and pressuring Bradbury to make some good quality saves.
Well, another icing, and we're kind of back to that choppy style of play we saw in the second. Normally that would suit the Bruins well, except now time is your enemy, and you kind of want that more free-flowing game. You want more offense as you're trailing by one, and the more of those icings you have, the more stoppages in play, the less opportunity you have to kind of get into a rhythm and try and get a goal back. Lance circling back behind his own net, throws it off the boards, just out of reach of Bryant, and dump back in. Morehart going to pick it up, throwing it across, intended for Lance. Instead, it's going to be sent right back in that time by Thingvold. Morehart grabs it, throwing it off the boards. Loose puck in front of Sandy as it went off the skate of Iverson, and he'll just cover up. So another stop in play here, another offensive zone draw for Red River. And not only have they been getting these faceoffs where they want them, but they've been winning them at an exceptionally high rate,
We do see Fargo South-Shanley's top line out there against one of Red River's second and third lines. So hopefully they can get some solid pressure on Bradbury and get a good breakout and get a good rush to help them generate a goal.
Well, here's an opportunity. Sandy going to pick that one up. He was trying to send it across to Kirkby, but great defense that time by Thingvold as he'll play it off the boards now. And the Riders are going to go right back to work into that South-Shanley zone. Every time it looks like the Bruins are going to get it out and get a rush, the Riders do such a good job at back checking and getting this puck right back into the Bruins zone. Mullen has it in the corner, only momentarily though. Zazada able to get the clear, but it's going to go down for another icing. 7:26 left. Again, a lot of time, but they got to show us something here.
Yeah, Jed, lots of icings for Fargo South-Shanley. Definitely not going to score them a goal when they shoot it down the length of the ice. They definitely just need to try to get a rush and try to get some players, some of their key players, the puck, and see if they can generate some shots, because we haven't seen a lot of shots from them in this period. With only 7 minutes left, they're going to have to start gaining some confidence and getting some shots on net.
Puck shoots out of the zone. Not sure who was last touched by. It looks like it was a rider, so it will not be an icing as it's collected before the red line anyway. And now it's going to be an icing against Red River. So here's an opportunity for the Bruins. You'd imagine they'd send that top line out, although they're probably a little winded here still. So it's going to be that second line, Gores, Lance, and Bryant.
And Brian did have a chance earlier in this period, so we'll see if he can keep that up and see if the defenseman can get shots and get some rebounds or tip screens for their forwards.
Riders looking to put this one right back into the Bruin zone. Not so fast, though. Noah Lance makes a good play defensively, and Iverson is there to take it away as well. Lance and Iverson grinding there, and now Bryant's got it. Some numbers now for South-Shanley. Bryant coming down into the Riders zone. Bryant curls around, puts one on net, denied by Bradbury, but Gores gets the rebound. Gores rubbed off of it by Schumacher, and then Schumacher gets the clear as it's settled down by Hansen, who takes a shot at the end of that one. Dean will dump in. The Bruins go off for a change, and Bradbury wraps it around the boards.
Although it wasn't a high-quality shot there by Jake Bryant, from that angle he was still able to get a shot, which is what they need, and you never know if it can go by Bradbury or come out for a rebound for the other forwards.
Yeah, honestly, any shots on goal at this point are good, Cooper, because they have been really limited in their opportunities. Drew Sandy on top of this one, throws it off the boards, trying to connect that time with Hansen. As Montgomery will hold the zone, Hansen knocks it out of the air and then flips it up, but it deflects off of the ceiling and falls right back down. And looks like we should have this one going back into the South-Shanley zone. You know, I've actually never seen that happen, Cooper. So, I mean, it's the same rules as going off the netting, I guess, but It did make me think for a minute. 5:55 left in the third. Surprise, surprise, it's an offensive zone face-off for Red River. Just so good at forcing that, putting teams in bad situations. And Mason Thingvold, the 6'4" junior center, taking the draw, unable to win at that time, but boy, has he been a difference maker for the Riders. Just been an overall thorn in the side of the Bruins.
Yeah, and although he is on that second line for Red River, they still match him up with the first line for Fargo South-Shanley. Not Red River's best game, staying close with the team that they're definitely statistically better than. But if they're able to match them up with the first line, maybe prove their worth against those top lines.
Yeah, you know, a nice point-blank shot there. Another rebound opportunity, and through the legs of Sandy. It might be the dagger. Excellent work on the rebound that time, trying to get a number out of that mob of people. And yeah, it looks like Leon just a great job there. Backhander through the 5-hole after that scramble. You see the initial shot, and then, well, actually, that wasn't even the initial. That was a shot off the rebound, and then it was the second try off the rebound from Leon that did it. So 3-1 now with 5:23, not what South-Shanley needed. And you know, Cooper, before that happened, as you were saying, statistically, yeah, you know, Red River is the favorite here. South-Shanley, the home underdog. I will say, even after that goal, you know, holding them to 27 shots, 3-1 right now. Overall, you got to be fairly happy with your performance if you're South-Shanley. You know, this is a Red River team that's beaten you by a lot larger margins than this in years past.
Yeah, Jed, I agree. Although they might not come away with the win in this one, it's definitely a good measuring mark to see where they are in the state, to see where they can match up with those top 2-3 teams, and be able to come up and play with them when it comes to tournament time.
Yeah, and you know, obviously there's going to be another matchup between these two teams later in the year, as you do with conference foes, as now we got a scrum around Sandy and the net comes off its moorings. But this also gives you some confidence going into that next game. And we're not writing this one off by any means. 441, 2 goals is not impossible at all. But, you know, should this score stay as it is and Red River walks away the winner, South-Shanley's got to feel like they can easily, steal a win when they go up to Grand Forks later in the year.
Yeah, Jed, that's for sure. I feel like with the depth that they have, they're able to stick with any team, as we saw. They were able to keep up with their speed, with Red River speed, that is, for most of the game. They just kind of fell apart here towards the later ends of the game, and if they are able to keep up their speed and be able to keep up with the other teams throughout the whole game, it'll definitely be a lot closer and maybe come out with a few wins like they'd like.
So now some pressure put on by the Bruins, trying to get one back here, and a nice shot off that little scramble from Grant Gores, but a better save made by Bradbury. And, you know, he's been tested 18 times tonight, and he's been perfect on 17 times. Well, actually, they're going to update that to 19, so 18 saves on 19 shots. But Bradbury's looked really, really good here, Cooper.
Yeah, and a lot of those shots haven't been consecutive. You know, not a lot of rebounds he's given up, so he's been able to stay in the game, keep his head in the game, and be able to face those shots when they come, you know, 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, wherever it is apart, and be able to make those saves when he's faced with them.
So the Riders going to take this one out of their zone. A little 2-on-2 look now. Shot from far out, blocked partially in front. Looked to be sent out of the zone, held in well that time by Arell, but then put down behind the Red River net. Bradbury played it out. Sandy tracks it down. Sandy moving it in, had a man open. It was Senf there that was Noah Johnson for a second, but couldn't hook up with him. Montgomery now going over to Savage, back to Andrade. Andrade lost it. Arell picks it up, getting some space. Arell has Andrade open. Fans on it twice, though. He had him open back door. Just could not get a clean pass off. But boy, Arell, if he could have gotten one of those Andrade had, very high percentage shot there. That's a goal he was probably going to get more times than not.
Yeah, and something to make note of there, Zach Sandy did not let up a rebound on that one, not allowing those top forwards for Red River to create those second chance opportunities, something he's been really good at controlling throughout this game, something we didn't see earlier in the season, although the season is still young. A great job by him doing that tonight, and a great job by the defense sticking up and moving those forwards out of the net.
Bruins going back the other way. Here is Bryant with Kirkby open to his left. Somehow gets it through after an initial block. And now it looks like we got a tripping call going against Red River with 3:16 left to go in the game.
2-minute power play here for Fargo South-Shanley. There's only going to be about a minute left. When this power play expires, they're going to need to score early in this power play if they're going to want a chance to score again with the 5-on-5 that they'll have after the power play.
And even if they can't get two here to tie it up, it would be nice for South-Shanley if they could have some success on the power play, because that has not been a strength so far tonight, that's for sure. Zazada goes to Senf in the corner. Senf looks one way, then goes the other. He goes to Zazada out top. Zazada across to Morehart. Morehart over to Sandy. Sandy looks, fires one in to the abdomen of Alex Senf. So not where you wanted that one to go, as Senf will now pick it up in the corner. He goes down behind the Red River net. Good physical defense that time by the Riders, and they get the clear. Sandy will leave it for Morehart. And now here goes Morehart up the near side. He'll give over to Kirkby. Kirkby with some open ice, going to try to use his speed. Attempting to get around Arell that time. Arell, though, will now attempt to rub him off the puck along the boards. Arell, great job winning that battle. Still working forward with it, looking for a man to give it to. Finds no one, but comes away with it himself. Now going to play it off the boards over to Huss. Huss dumping it down, and an opportunity as Savage will chase after it. Sandy comes out of the net. Good work there by Sandy. He's been pretty active, not afraid to come out of his net so far tonight, and he's done a really nice job of it. Morehart now dumps it in. Gores chases after, but the Riders will get another clear. So not a lot of offense for the Riders on this penalty kill, but that's never what you expect. You know, all you need is good defense, and well, on their other penalty kills, they've been more offensive than anything. And this one, it's just been solid D. Gores crossing the blue line, or excuse me, no, that's Lance. Lance trying to leave it for Gores now, as Bryan also comes in to take it. Jake Bryant's had a couple opportunities, has been unable to convert as of yet. And now a stop in play as the net came off. .124 to go in the game. 8 seconds left on the penalty to Noah Bradbury.
Looks like a timeout called by Fargo South-Shanley.
And yeah, a minute 24 left. You've already got a man advantage, and you've got an offensive zone face-off. You have to imagine we'll see Zach Sandy leave the net here. They'll try and get the 6-on-4 and get a goal off the face-off.
Yeah, if you do that, something you have to be careful of. The guy coming out of the penalty box can get a easy goal if Red River's penalty kill has been up to the task like it has been.
And the unfortunate part for the Bruins is that they really, for those last 30 seconds of the power play, would have probably been just fine getting an offensive zone draw. My guess is that's what they wanted. And then I'd say with anywhere from 45 to 30 seconds left in the penalty, they would have been just fine going 6-on-4 there and pulling their goalie. But they didn't get the offensive zone draw till now. Better late than never, but still probably hoping to get that a little earlier.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see if they wait for the penalty or the penalty, to expire before they pull Sandy, or wait or pull him before. Looks like
I'd imagine they'd pull him before, but no.
I think they might wait until the guy comes out of the box just in case Red River has possession when he comes out.
And that does make sense, Cooper. Down 2, you can afford to be a little riskier, and that might be their call. As now he will go off.
Hopefully, Fargo South-Shanley can win this draw. Then, otherwise, it looks like
they trust Noah Johnson with it, and he's true, winning it back to Sandy. Kirkby will now tip it over to Senf. Senf back behind the Red River net. 6-on-5 now, as Sandy has it on the near side. Sandy going in the corner over to Kirkby. Kirkby has that one knocked off his stick. It's played off the glass. Zazada able to hold the zone, working it along the boards. Sandy trying to keep it in. Krenelka playing solid D that time. Sandy getting it over in the corner to Senf. Kirkby had the shot out in front, couldn't get it though. And now Sandy all over his man, trying to prevent this empty netter from going in. Hansen bats it down. Sandy's got it. They just got to try and get out of the zone here. Noah Johnson lays a big hit down in front. Looks like we got a rider still down. Now he's up. Sandy poking it forward, unable to win that battle though. Krenelka lets one go, and it's just wide, deflected off of a Bruin. Schumacher has it, but he's swarmed by about 5 Bruins, and then it's turned over to Savage. Savage put that one just wide. 18 seconds left. Bruins fighting to avoid the empty netter. Now it's loose out in front. No one in net. Got to try and block this one. And the Riders, with 10 seconds to go, might just sit back. And that looks like what they'll do. 5 seconds left. Just going to skate this one out. And I like that. Not trying to force anything. Not try to get the celebratory goal at the end. That's a classy move by the Riders after a hard-fought game as the buzzer sounds on a 3-1 victory for the visiting Roughriders. Final shots, 28-19 in favor of Grand Forks. And Cooper, your thoughts after overall a really good performance, I'd say, from both teams.
Yeah, Jed, one thing I was really impressed with was Red River's speed. Fargo South-Shanley, just like we saw against Davies, was able to keep up with it for the most part of the game. Kind of fell apart towards the end of the third period, allowing that third goal, killed some momentum. But if Fargo South-Shanley is able to keep up with the speed for the whole game of the teams they face, no reason why they shouldn't be in the conversation towards the end of the season.
Yeah, certainly. Not the result you wanted, but I think South-Shanley played the game they wanted to play, didn't quite get as many breaks as they wanted offensively, but definitely an encouraging result for them. And for Red River, meanwhile, they just keep rolling undefeated in conference play. 1 loss on the year to East Grand Forks. Other than that, they've been stellar so far. So early in the season yet, good things to take away for both teams, but it's Grand Forks who walks away with the victory. For tonight, for Cooper Mattern and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: South-Shanley Bruins 1, Grand Forks Red River Roughriders 3. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.